Alright, welcome back everybody. This is Nanashi, and we are taking a look at the Manor Lords demo. Now this is a game being developed by one man that I have been following for quite some time, and just based on the pictures, they looked phenomenal. I've had a few hours in this game, but I wanted to showcase it for all of you guys. The demo ran through Steam's Next Fest from October 3rd to 10th, and I'm really excited to show you guys what it has to offer. I know there's been a lot of others who probably will be showcasing this, but I wanted to show you a little bit of my style on how I like to play these types of city simulation type of games. So let's dive right on in. Alright, here we go. So, typical movement keys for those who are new and may have not tried the demo and are probably going to get the game on launch when it does come out. But WASD is to move around the map. You can rotate holding the middle mouse button, of course zooming in and out, scrolling. You will notice how beautiful the environment looks. I mean, actually phenomenal. Look at the trees, the greenery. The trees do get affected by environmental factors, which is quite beautiful in any game, I would say, how realistic they may seem. When you do start a new game, you will be plunged into sort of regions. I think it's going to be by random, of course. But when you go to this region map, which is locked for the time being, but you will see that there are different regions, and within these regions there are, of course, different sort of supplies, resources. Um, we have wild animals to hunt, berries to get, which are seasonal, by the way, and we'll get that into that a little bit. And there's an iron deposit here. Um, I'm sure when the actual game comes out, you'll be able to sort of take over these different regions either by force or even trade or some sort of influence. But right now, let's focus on the actual game aspect. So you will get little messages asking for a little quest. So establishing a foothold. There's a fire at the heart of every settlement, a bastion of safety, warmth and light against the darkness of the world. On this cold spring morning, your men blow on their fingertips, their breath clouding in the air, but there is plenty of work to warm them. As the toil begins, you can almost imagine hear the ring of anvils, the tolling of bells, the cries of the marketplace, possibilities. In the distance, fog lingers in the hollows of the land, and the world's quiet, watchful, waiting for you to choose which of those to make real. Here are objectives. So we need to construct a granary, logging camp, forger hut, storehouse, and we have 365 days to do that. So let's get right into it. So let's pause real quick. And as you can see at the bottom here, so you can make roads, which you're actually going to need these to, well, as it will show you, need to connect them to these points at your buildings so they can efficiently get to, your workers can efficiently get to where you need to get to. So right here you can see that as we make, the roads. What I love about this is you can also adjust the curvature. So if you really want to curve things up and make it look like an actual medieval village where it's not straight and grid-like like our current cities, you can do that. For right now, let's focus on construction though. So the construction, you have many different tabs. So these are your gathering, your mining, storage, village life, which is pertaining to more, sort of your village and the people and what their needs are, farming, industry, trading, administration, and military. So let's start with something as simple as a logging camp. We're going to need to build a logging camp so we can get, you know, our logs and wood. So we will build that. Let's build it up here. I think this will be a good place for a logging camp. And then we'll place a woodcutter's lodge because we're going to need firewood for our peasants. So we can place that sort of right here, I think would be a good idea. So that we won't be running into the same trees as the loggers. That's not one of the things that we need, but as you can see up here, fuel, you need firewood for fuel. This is how homes get warmed up, and if you don't have fuel for your homes and your peasants, they will die during the winter season, which if you see right here will tell you what season it is. So right now we're in spring, and we should probably get food before the coming winter, because that's where they're going to need to survive. And again, berries, for example, where are they? They're up here. These are seasonal, so they only grow within the spring to about, I would say, autumn seasons, and then after that they will have to replenish and regenerate. So let's go ahead and actually build a hunter's camp up here, because there seems to also be another food source. And of course the berries will go up here as well. And then we want a granary and a storehouse. So I like to keep my granary and my storehouse sort of together, because that just makes sense in my head, you know, keeping all of the food and supplies together. So let's actually build it on this side. I think this will make a lot more sense if we build it here. Again, we're going to rotate. We have a storehouse. Probably. So we don't have enough resources right now. So what we're going to do is we're just going to build roads for now. So again, you can build your road to these points. Build it like that. Again, we can adjust the curvature. Right now it doesn't really need to be curved. So we can actually do something like this. Even go like that. Maybe go around. And maybe we can even curve to go something like this. And adjust the curvature, straighten out that road a little bit if we wanted. We have that. And then we can again adjust the road, and boom, got a nice little road going. We can do the same over here. Do that. And then do this a little bit, and boom. Kind of go around the trees. So one thing to note are these oxens, which are on a hitching post, and these will bring the, so for example, these supplies, we get beginner supplies, which need to be stored, because if you leave them out, the weather, because the weather might change to rain, snow, what have you. If you leave these out, they will dwindle over time, and we do not want that. So that's why we need to get our storehouse and our granary up. But these oxen, they will bring these logs to their destination for when you're building. And also you have these peasants, which are quote-unquote unassigned families, but these are the amount of peasants who don't have jobs, and we'll look into that. And this is our total population right now. So this is the camp that they start off with. Of course, you have public order, approval, livestock, which we have many different types of animals you have. And this right here is important. This will tell you the number of months of when your supplies will run out. So we have 4 months of food, 20 months of fuel, and you want to keep this as high as possible. Crops, food, different food types, how much logs you have, stone, tools. Tools are going to be important. I'll talk about that later. Different materials, commodities, equipment, etc. So let's continue. put this on 2 speed so you can kind of see what's going on. But so right here we're gonna see the oxen. You know, they're gonna go to the lumber camp or logging camp first, and watch, they're gonna place that there. Now you have wood to sort of build, and so right now we're looking at them build the hunting camp, which is beautiful. You can see them building in real time. Everything starts to upgrade. It's quite phenomenal. And again, you need these roads to connect so that they can get to where they need to their destination a lot quicker. So if you don't have a job for your peasants will automatically go under construction, or if they're waiting to do something, which is great. So you don't have idle peasants. You never want to have idle peasants. So wow, look at that, beautiful. Let's speed it up a bit. Let's go 4 times speed. Get it a little bit faster. Okay, so now we have a logging camp. So now we're going to start assigning workers. So we assign 1 worker. So this, you can add up to 3 workers here. Interesting thing is you can set a work area. So right now we're in limited because, well, we're cutting trees down. I don't need, but if you really wanted to, you could click on this and you can hold control again to adjust the size of the area of where you want. So if I wanted to, I can say, hey, cut these trees down specifically instead of kind of cutting everything down here. But usually for logs, I kind of want them to go having a limited work area. So now we're gonna have 1 worker. I believe he's cutting something down. Let's see. I hear it. Sounds like he's somewhere. Yep, there he is, cutting trees down. So. Now we have a woodcutter's lodge for firewood. They're gonna continue to build. There we go. So I'll wait to set those up until we finish building everything. So wow, look at this, beautiful. So they have the logs right here. They'll cut them down and they'll bring them here. So now we have our forager huts. Gonna build the storehouse right across from the granary. So we're gonna set a worker here at the forager hut. Again, we can only have berries. There's 112, so we probably want to designate that area. Pantry can hold up to 50 berries only. Absolutely phenomenal. I mean, just look how gorgeous it is, just coming to life. The great news about the granary is you can actually upgrade this. So right now we can only store up to 500 food, but we can go up to 1500 with an extra card. So now that we got it, we have another new message. So it says here, your supplies are, the humble beginnings, your supplies are dry and secure, and the first stage of work is done. The stories your people tell around the fire are of the many dangers in the world, from beast blights, strange tales about foxes who go on pilgrimage, or small creatures who spin gold from sunset to sunrise. They tell these stories to put common names to their fears. Soon they'll teach these stories to their own children. It's time to bring wives and children to settlement. Now that they can take shelter in proper homes. For your lands to prosper and grow, you need not only workers but families. So we need to construct a well and a Burgage plot. Burgage plots are where the peasants stay in their homes. So we want to keep the water central. So I'd say, and keep a note that when you build a well, it must be on these blue lines here. This is where the water is. So let's see here. I'd say hold. I'd say right about here would be pretty good. This big chunk right here. So we'll build that. We'll build a road going right here. I think that'd be good. Actually, hold on. There we go. So actually, what we want to do is, I'll show you. So the Burgage plots. So yes, as you see, they are based on a quote-unquote grid system, but they don't exactly have to be in a grid. So we'll show you right now. So, for example, if I wanted to put, let's say, home right here, so we can only put one if it's facing this way. If it's facing this way, you can put two. So right now we don't have enough logs. Until we get enough logs, then we can build 2 houses. Okay, so right now we have nothing really to build. Actually, I'm going to set some workers here to put away the supplies before rain, if rain starts to come, and now we will be kind of screwed here because we have no supplies. So they'll get their cars, and they'll bring the supplies sitting out here, like I said. So they'll grab it. They'll go, put it away. So you will see occasionally villagers bumping into each other. I know the dev said he was working on that, so that's good to know that he's actively looking out. So as you see, rain's here. Now we have to get all the supplies before it went and got messed up by the rain, which of course it did not. So now that we've done that, we can set these workers off, and now we can focus on construction. So let's build a couple houses here, so you guys can see what that looks like. Okay, so we'll build it right here next to the well. Looks like we need, looks like it doesn't look quite nice. There we go. So we'll put 2 there. Now we have finished well. Now they're going to focus on the houses. And while that's happening, I'm actually going to put one just on the hunting camp because we do need food. And looks like we've already set the area right here. But we set a limit to 20 because, well, we want the animals to sort of breed. There's 39, and we don't want to wipe out the entire species in this area, and we need that food. Wonderful. So as you notice, we will get more families. So these are your families as you start to build more of these peasant buildings, and so that's how you get more workers, is by building more of these burgage plots. So actually, let's actually continue to build our road. I kind of want to build it something like this. Let's go something like this. And then maybe even like just a curvature on this. There we go. Actually, now we probably want to set a worker to get some fuel. That's a big important thing. We can make more Burgage plots here. Can probably do another 2 homes right there. Again, just absolutely gorgeous. Look at that. Just the wind blowing on the trees, the environmental effects, just absolutely gorgeous. So the great news is too, when you are, if you look at the hunting camp, you will have meat, but you also have these things, pelts. And pelts can be made into leather, if I can find it, right here, the tannery. And leather will be produced into clothes, and we'll get that into the next mission. Let's... So this right here is the King's Road. It's the main road. You can't really do much. You can't delete it. This is where the traders will come. The traveling merchants and traders will come by. So we have about 8 months worth of food and 16 months worth of fuel, which is great. So the hunting camp looks like it's full. So again, idle workers will come here to build. Alright. Another mission. So comforts and conveniences. As you walk the perimeter surveying your village, with pride a woman walks past you. She's bent nearly double under a sack. You ask how long she's been walking, and she tells you it takes her half a day now to get all the food she needs for her family from the hunters and farmers that surround the village. If only there was a marketplace where people could acquire food, clothing, or firewood, they would be happier and have more time for other work. Alright, so one thing I want to point out is a lot of people have probably wondered, for those who played the demo, how do we level up our plots? So when you go here, you could level up, right? And I know it's been explained before, but the red is required. You will lose approval if it's not fulfilled, and then the green, it takes up for next level to upgrade. So for right now, they have water, they have fuel, these are needed. They have at least some food. But now to upgrade it, we're going to need to get different food types here, some clothing, entertainment, and faith. Entertainment from the tavern, faith from the church. So the clothing, we're going to go back to that clothing. So we're going to make a marketplace. So I'd say, let's want to have the marketplace maybe a little bit close. So let's designate this little area right here to be the marketplace. So when you build a marketplace, we're going to have a stall. So you have your food stall. And so this is where your peasants will come to grab the things they need. So there, we have a food stall, logs, firewood stall, and clothing. So one thing that I've noticed in regards to the clothing, not so much everything, the firewood and the food, because those are pretty easy, is so these stalls will fill up over time. So in order for you to get them to level 2, eventually you will need to build a pasture to house sheep. Then you build a sheep farm, which gives you wool, and then you build a weaver workshop, which will take that wool and make into yarn. And then you also need another field, and field you can put different crops, but in particular flax, and the weaver will take the flax and put that to linen. Now if you make another clothes stall, which is empty, once you have those particular materials, it will fill up, and then those people will start to grab them, and it will fill up this second level. But because you're getting leather from the tanner for most of the beginning, it will only just fill that stall out. I had to figure this out myself a bit. Took a little bit. So now that we have that, we are going to need some more workers, because we are going to need to start working on more things. So we are going to build another plot. Let's see here. I would like ideally to have a plot probably like right here. I think this is good. That looks pretty good, right? Well, maybe not. Well, maybe this is not a good area. Alright. So let's see what we got going for us. Let's actually start to build some plots over here by the storage. Oh, well, we don't have enough logs. So actually, let's build enough for... Okay, we can only build one more, so let's see. Would we be able to build one here? Nope. Let's try that. Yeah, let's try that. That looks fine to me. Actually, while we're at it, like I was saying about the farms, we actually might want to build the fields. So the green obviously represents what is fertile. Orange and red, yellow, probably not so fertile. So it looks like a lot of this land on this side is fertile, so we might want to use this. So let's see here. Let's build a little farm right there. Maybe another one right about here would be nice. And then maybe another one right about here. I think that looks good. Then we can build the farm. Oh, we don't have enough resources, but the farm will require tools, and eventually you will be able to build more tools. By doing that, you actually have to get a mining pit over here, over this this little iron deposit. But we'll focus on that afterwards. So now we got the stalls being made, and the food will be brought there, clothes and the logs. Let's go ahead and build that leather worker, or the tannery, I mean. Oh wait, we don't have enough logs. That is unfortunate. So now we have another worker, which is good. So now actually what we can do is, let's see here. We could put someone on logs as well. So here, pause it and go for the fields. So the fields is interesting. So you fallows to help, you know, the fields recover. When you pick it, it will tell you different percentages of how successful these fields will produce this. So let's see, flax. Might want to go with this for flax. It looks like it's the highest percentage. And then we might use this for barley, and then this one we can use for wheat. So we'll let that grow first. And then actually, we're going to need more workers again. But first, let's see. We're actually going to want a trading post at some point, because we're going to need to get that silver flowing. Let's build some more houses, though, because we're going to need more peasants for sure. We can build it like this. It's beautiful, absolutely gorgeous. So let's actually build it here. I think this would be good. We did before. Oh. Get some more logs first. Right now we're in autumn, so season of berries might dwindle pretty soon. Good thing we can still hunt for animals, but we're pretty stocked up, I'd say, on food for 6 months, which is good. Alright, so let us build another couple more houses here. So go with that. Then we'll go with the tannery. So we are going to need that. So let's actually build the tanner. Where shall we build the tanner? You know, let's yeah, we could build the tanner by the storehouse and the granary. I think that should be adequate. Very nice. Actually, I'm going to use the worker to go to storage plot because we're going to need to grab some of that stuff. As you can see, the stalls get filled. So we actually don't need anybody at the storehouse for now. We will probably put them on, let's see here, what do we have? So winter is coming. Probably want to get our farm up and going so we can get the wheat and bread. Put someone else on the wood over there to get more wood. Get a leather, and now they're gonna go get the pelts, and they'll make that into leather, and we'll put it at the clothing stall. Get some more logs so we can build our farm. So it looks like there's no more berries, so we're probably gonna wanna stop them wherever they're working. We probably want to put them, let's see. Let's get the farm up and going. Put it right next to here. So one thing you have to note, if you are making wheat, you will need to build a windmill to make the wheat will turn into grain, and then the windmill will turn the grain to flour, and then the communal oven will turn the flour into bread. If you want to use the barley for the tavern, you need the malt house to turn the barley into malt, and then the brewery to make the malt into ale, and then the ale will ultimately go to the tavern. And then, of course, the flax is the flax will just go straight to, again, the weaver's workshop, and it tells you right there. For the iron, though, so you're gonna make a mining pit at some point here. Actually, we can set that as our next build. We can put that right up there. We are gonna need to make a road. There we go. And then, to make the tools, it goes to a bloomery to turn the ore into iron slabs, then the smithy to turn slabs, and of course the firewood to craft into tools. It's a process. So it looks like we're doing okay on food still. Looks like we will survive the winter. So we have the farm that's finished, which is good. So we'll put one farm worker on there. Next we'll build the, let's see, what do we have here? Build the windmill as soon as possible. Get a couple more peasant houses. We'll build the windmill to make the grain. We'll probably put it, we'll keep it close by. Let's see, let's put it next to the farm. I think that makes a lot more sense. Increases the efficiency. So now that we have leather, so now there should be clothes coming in, I think. Let me see. Yeah, leather right there. So we get a little bit more workers, which is great. So we probably want people on the stalls, but let's see here. So the windmill's done, which is great. Probably want someone on the mining pits. And we can make a bloomery, so we can... Let's see, let's keep all the industry sort of together. Perhaps. There we go. Probably want to build a communal oven somewhere nearby as well, so, well... Put that right here across from the farm. Increase the efficiency. Looks like the clothes are getting to where they need to be. And we're probably going to need a set of work at the granary, so we'll do that. Also set priority on some of these crops, but we'll keep them up there. We will need some more peasants, so let's see here. Let us build some more plots. Let's do something like this. So we don't have enough yet, which is fine. Let's actually take him off, and we'll put them back on foraging duty. Get some berries again. we only have 2 months worth of food, so we probably want to get going. We probably want someone to help foraging for food. Looks like the animals are growing, which is great. Then we're gonna want somebody on. I think we're. Let's see what we have here. We're good on the storage. Take these guys off the storage. Put one here and here. Getting those tools. Next, we want to focus on. Let's see what we have. The trade. That's right. Which is going to cost us another log. Probably want someone else on the farm too. Actually take someone off berries and put them back on animals. Looks like they're farming, which is great. We need to get those crops up and going quickly. It's absolutely beautiful. I mean, look at everybody's doing their job. You can see everybody sort of doing their job. Look at that. Wonderful. Brings the supplies there. He's going to start doing his thing. It's just absolutely beautiful. I mean, just look at that. Beautiful. Everybody's doing what they need to do. But again, if you have idle workers, just make sure that they are assigned to something. If you think they don't need to be on there, you can unassign them and assign them where it needs to be done, depending on the season. So it looks like we have 1 month worth of food. This is not good. We should. So it looks like, let's see what we have going here. Alright, looks like it's getting deer. Great. Okay, so let's get that trade up and going. Let's put the, let's see. Where do we want? We want it on the main road for sure. Let's put it right here. I think this will be good to have it. So we'll get that up and running. We will, let's see, what else? Probably want another farm. So look at that, beautiful. So very fertile land up here. Definitely do that. We can definitely have more wheat to grow. Just for the sake of doing it now, I'm probably going to have a pasture somewhere, I'd say, for the animals to graze on. We could probably do it over here across from the farm. I think that'd be good. We don't need anything too big. There we go. Pastures, they can breed. The sheep can breed with the pasture, but so you don't have to buy them at the. Currently, we have to buy them at the livestock trading post, but this is just a demo, and the sheep breeding will come at the full game, which is great. So I actually want to have the livestock trader. Maybe. Let's see. Sheep farm there, and then we can put the livestock trader right next to it. I think that would make more sense. The main road. Still waiting for the yield, so everything needs to grow, so we're just having to rely on other means of food right now. So now we have a bunch of tools, as you can see. And some places, if you see these extensions, can be upgraded with tools. So you get vegetable garden, which is the easiest with one tool. Chicken coop will cost silver coins, give you eggs, and then goat shed will give you milk. So let's get some vegetables going so that we can get some extra food sources here. They will vary depending on the size of the household. So obviously these small ones won't be able to really grow anything, whereas the longer ones with bigger fields will be able to. At least we can get some extra food going for a little bit here. So at some point you will get a lot of leather, which, I mean, let's see. Based on our trade, looks like we have 64. So for now, so you can import only if you want to buy, you can export only if you want to just sell, or you can do full trade of importing and buying based on how much you have and what your target is to have. So right now we're just going to export. So our target is to have, let's say, 30. So we'll sell the other 34 for a price of 6 silver, it looks like. Which is good. We can import food if we wanted to, but we don't have any money right now, so. And in order for that to go, we need a free worker. So, let's actually take off one of the workers here, put them on trading. So for right now, let's see.